Hey, podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I have the other half of the Starter Girls podcast that I happen to had the privilege of being interviewed on a couple weeks ago, and you can check that out because it'll be right on an actual podcast episode for Time to Shine today, because I was so impressed by how Brianna and Jennifer Loading ran their show. It's just fantastic. I actually picked up a couple steps from them and how I can level up Time to Shine today. But today is all about someone who has a company that is called Reality Singing Show Success Academy. And their link will be in the show notes from this. And her name is Brianna Ruelas, and I hope I didn't butcher it too much. But Brianna is a Dallas-based strategy consultant, reality TV music coach, and best-selling author to make reality TV your reality. Most recently, she produced the first ever reality singing show summit and is launching the Reality Singing Show Success Academy in September 2021, which this show will roll out right around in September for sure. Brianna is passionate about supporting her clients to reality singing show success and leveraging that experience to ignite their music careers. Follow Brianna on social media at Brianna Ruelas Music, and I'll put that all in the show notes, folks. Make sure you follow her after you listen to the show. And Brianna, thank you for coming on. Please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is turquoise because it reminds me of Santa Fe. It just gives me, I feel like all that energy, love, energy, all the things.
I love it. I love turquoise too. I can rock turquoise just because I'm dark complected. You know, it's in my color wheel. It's definitely, I think anything's in your color wheel. And if you're watching on YouTube, a beautiful woman, awesome voice as well, just fantastic. And we're going to get kind of to the roots of that right now. Can you give us a little background on how you got started and kind of leveled up to where you're at right now with the Reality Singing Show Success Academy?
Absolutely. So I've been singing and performing my entire life. I actually was on American Idol season 4, OG season 4, top 100 finalist. So that was an amazing experience. And, you know, from there, that's really kind of was the catalyst to bring me to where I am today, because I did a lot of music and performance, and then that led to vocal coaching and performance coaching, and ultimately learning like there are so many resources or a lack of resources around reality singing show competitions. And I'm super passionate about not only getting artists on these shows, but showing them how to leverage them properly and like really maximize them to create momentum in their music careers.
Wow. So you were a contestant and you made it to the top 100, which is freaking brilliant, which is awesome.
I was a contestant.
Oh, you're right. You're a contestant within the top 100, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have auditioned in front of Paula, Randy, and Simon.
That's
like
awesome.
OG dude. Idol judges. Yeah. It was an incredible experience. I had a blast.
That's awesome. So how much of that getting to that area stems from the poolside conversation that you had?
So that poolside conversation happened after Idol, because one of the things that happened in Idol is I didn't get as far as I wanted to. And so I coach on this all the time. It's like, look, this is a beginning, not an end, right? So at the time, I thought my music career was over. I didn't progress on American Idol. My husband and I recently have relocated from Los Angeles to Dallas. So I thought for sure, you know, there's no more room for me to do music because I'm no longer in LA. So when we're sitting, you know, at the pool, my husband says to me, listen, if you don't start singing, writing music, performing, doing something with music, not only are you going to make yourself crazy, you're going to make me crazy. And that was it. You know, that was really, that was one of the things that just made me realize, you know, music is in my bones. It's in my fabric. And if you're not using your gifts, you know, you're dying. You're literally dying inside, and others suffer, not just you.
How awesome is it? Do you have a support system? Do you have someone that wants you to go after your passion, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. And my husband is a, you know, entrepreneur as well. And he's a restaurant owner. So, so I'm supporting him in his dreams. And he supports me with all my music stuff too. So thankfully I have someone who isn't afraid, right? He's not afraid. And that makes a huge, huge difference.
Right. And we say at Time to Shine Today, everything we want's on the other side of fear. Just, you know, be brave and get started, right? And just keep moving forward. Yes. Do it scared is what we like to say. That's fantastic. So then starting this academy, like what kind of planted the seed to do that? And what was your kind of first steps to getting that rolling?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote during the pandemic, I wrote Make Reality TV Your Reality. And that's how to, like I mentioned, how to audition and leverage the reality singing show platform or competition. So once I wrote that book, I realized, this is an online course and I love video. So it's a video online course. The Academy is a video online course combined with live weekly coaching. And I felt as if it would be a perfect opportunity to really give artists and singers who are interested in reality singing shows a well-rounded understanding of not only what to expect, but how to get the most out of it. Like how I always say, how to squeeze the most juice out of the opportunity.
And obviously the credentials are there, so you probably get some mad respect when people kind of come to you, right? Does it kind of start with that? Like people are looking to feed off of the information you want to teach them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also a combination of my energy when I'm and my personality when I'm coaching because, you know, I I'm sincerely passionate about supporting other artists. And one of the things that I show them is, reality singing shows are not for everyone, but it is a marketing arm or a marketing opportunity if you're interested in growing your music career. So it's literally just another marketing opportunity for you to show people what you do as an artist and make a larger music impact.
I love that. I love it. It's kind of like you're taking an inch by inch, it's a cinch approach to it where you're not just because I mean, in that line of work, it's like you have so much rejection and so much everything, but just keep building and building and building, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's part of it. And
Right.
and when they're auditioning over and over and they keep getting no's, here's the thing, you're still getting in front of them. They're
Sure.
getting to know who you are and they see that you're coming through the door. So if again, just like entrepreneurship, we got to assess what's working, what's not working and make adjustments. But it's the people who don't seek help or support from someone like me or a course like mine that will continue to stay in the same place, stuck in the same place a
Yes.
year from now, 3 years from now, because they
Yes.
don't change their
I
approach.
love that. I love that. I mean, that's why I have four coaches myself. I pay out the butt every month for the coaches, but I know that I would never level up without them, period. So, what do you think makes a great coach in your niche?
For me, I think it's understanding being in their shoes. First of all, like I am a singer songwriter. I was on American Idol. I've been doing the thing for 25 years. I'm not giving up. So there's like that longevity there and persistence there. So understanding them because I am one of them, I think is really helpful. But then also, the strategy piece, because a lot of artists are not very analytical or strategic in their thinking. They're really just focused on the creative aspect of things. So being able to bring a little structure and vision, planning, things like that to really give them that blueprint or that roadmap, I think is helpful in the coaching.
Love it. And so, when you're bringing somebody in, Brianna, and maybe you're in the discovery period to see if they're going to take you on as a coach and you as them as a client, is there any secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, to maybe help them find their blind spot?
Sure. So I've been coaching for 4 years now with independent artists and then doing the reality coaching thing for about two now. So, for me, it's a lot of times it comes down to mindset and it comes down to song choice because at the end of the day and story. So there's, a lot of different variables here. But when I'm meeting with them, I'm asking questions and I'm listening and I'm trying to simply assess where are you struggling most and how can we create a plan for you to overcome that.
I love it, and I love, and that's all included in your academy when they kind of come in with the interest. So when you're starting, and let's stay in that discovery, time frame, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
I wish that they would ask me what how did I stay in the game? Right? Because I gave up many, many times. And I talk about this a little bit because when I had my first daughter, I immediately thought, oh, okay, well, definitely my music career is over. Who wants to see a mom singing? That's, so not sexy. Right. And
Right.
then, there's just so many times where I just didn't think it was going to happen. It felt like a
Right.
pipe dream. And so I want them to ask, like, what was it that kept me hungry or that kept me in the game? Because it really is. Any entrepreneur will tell you, like, you can't quit. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and adjusting and trying new things until you get to where you're after.
That is some of the best advice that I've heard in the way you put it. You dumbed it down into really just, how did you stay in the game? Because again, there's so much rejection in your game. I mean, being in the real estate world like I am, it's rejection every day as well. And again, I'm like, dude, you just gotta, show up every day. And I always say, I wake up every day unemployed. I gotta have somebody that's going to interview me to sell them a house, to, rent them a house. And also my coaching business, I wake up every day unemployed. They want to interview me to help them level up their life and visionary and breakthrough. So you dumb that question down. And I say that in the utmost respect. That's fantastic. So then in this background, in this lifestyle that you've lived, who has had the most profound impact on your life outside of your hubby?
Oh, well, I mean, if we want to go spiritual on it, it's definitely my faith. I mean,
Sure.
my faith
Good.
has
Thank you
gotten
for
me
saying
through.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have to lift that up only because that is the number one thing that has kept me grounded, but also the motivation to tap into what I truly believe I'm supposed to be doing, and the affirmation of knowing I'm on the right track. Right.
Right.
So without that, it's like really walking blindly. And I truly believe that, I make it a daily practice to, like, be quiet and listen
You have to.
and, like, really pay attention,
Yeah.
aside from my faith and my husband, my girls really get me moving. I have 3 girls. I have a
What?
16-year-old. Yeah. I have a 16-year-old, an 11-year-old, and an 8-year-old. So a lot of what I do as far as the motivation, and I learn a lot from them, and
Yeah. Right.
I'm hungry also to show them. Like I mentioned, my husband is a restaurant owner and entrepreneur as well. So we are every single day modeling work ethic and tenacity, and also heart, like really showing them that it's okay to do what you love.
Are any of those 3 young ladies of yours looking to get into the entertainment world?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like, woohoo,
Yeah.
thank goodness. My oldest wants to be in architecture. My middle wants to be like a designer. And my third, she's my artist, but she loves, like, drawing, painting, all the things.
Okay.
So, they all want to be business owners though, which I find really interesting. And
That
maybe
comes
it's
from
not
your
that
hobby
interesting.
and you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has
They
to.
see it's possible, which,
Right.
I didn't have anything like that. For me, it was
Right.
like, go to college, get the 9 to 5, have a
Right.
health insurance, all the things that are, important in life.
Right. And it just seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, they weren't told no in their life that much, unless it was a life or death situation. Seems like you and your husband really let them explore. And if you're saying that you're naming off jobs and stuff that take a lot of creativity to even pursue. Am I right in saying that no is not really in your household unless it's an emergency situation?
Well, okay. Can I eat after 9 p.m. right before bed? No,
that's an
that ain't
emergency
happening, but
situation.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, absolutely. We give them the room to explore, but we also identify, their strengths, and then we want to do what we can to allow them to dive into those as much as possible.
I love it. So, have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yes.
Okay, let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. I know you don't look much older than 22, 23, but if you have 16-year-old kids, obviously you do. Let's go back to the 22-year-old Brianna. I don't know if it was Ruelas then, but let's go back to 22-year-old Brianna. What kind of knowledge nuggets, that's what we call them here at Time to Shine today, are you dropping on Brianna to maybe help her level up, blast through, or maybe shorten that learning curve just a little bit?
Oh my gosh. So 22-year-old Brianna was just getting out of a really, really dark, lost like place. And so I would
Artist.
tell, yeah, just, I was working in Malibu. I was drinking every day. I was partying. I wasn't singing. I wasn't, really uh, connected with my faith. I just I call it lost in la la land. I was just
True.
moseying
Right.
about. And the 22-year-old Brianna was just kind of like, oh, like waking up. Right. So I would say, keep waking up and reconnect with your faith and stop drinking every day. Like just cut it out. Like because at the end of the day, in order for you to be clear-minded and know exactly where you're headed and seek out and receive those opportunities, you need to be prepared. You have to put
Yes.
yourself in position
Yes.
to get there. And in order to do that, you can't be drunk every day. Sorry.
You think so? I love it. Thank you for putting that out there. The temple is so important to take care of. So, how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and your death date. How do you want Brianna's dash remembered?
Oh, that is it like a is it
You
like
know, on a
a
tombstone,
word?
you have born 1972, dead 2070. How do you want everything that's going on in that little dash in between? How do you want that remembered?
Oh man. Heart, um, just love and loyalty and kindness.
Wow, that's deep. So tell me, Brianna, what keeps you up at night?
Creativity and finding solutions and doing everything that I can to like operate at my highest level, like knowing that I'm tapped in.
Love it. I love it. So, on that note, with you being an artist, what do people misunderstand about you the most?
I think they misunderstand how driven I am on a business sense, because I'm an artist, they just assume that I'm like flying in the clouds, like, any
Right.
hippie might be. But ultimately, I am not just focused on producing high quality work, but I'm also focused on producing a high quality life.
Love it. I love that. So let's get in that DeLorean again with Marty McFly and then Doc Brown as well. And remember where he says, where we're going, there are no roads. Let's go 5 years into the future right now. Okay, it's 2026. What's going on at the Singing Show Success Academy?
Ooh, that's so exciting. So, what's going on in the Reality Singing Show Success Academy is that it's grown. There are hundreds in the academy, hundreds of students, and we're on our way to impact thousands of students. And at that point, I'd really like to see us having like an annual sort of retreat, like 2-day Reality Singing Show Success Academy retreat where we can really get in person and connect, support, and also give each other tools, or me provide tools to really kind of help them, one-on-one and in person with that sort of, like I said, leveling up in all of their music career stuff.
Okay. Do you plan on building a team around your academy as well for people that maybe walked in your shoes a little bit and want to help others level up as well?
I do.
Okay.
I brought an assistant on board for the first time this year, so that was really
That's
exciting.
huge.
And I have big plans for her to grow with me and with the Success Academy.
And
So
you will.
I definitely want to see that happen.
It's inevitable. The credentials are there for you, and you have such a huge heart, and you're just going to crush it. I'm so happy, and if you accept this, proud of you. And it's just awesome that you're doing this, man. So, what is Brianna's definition of a life well lived?
A life well lived would be keeping the priorities in check. My family and faith are number one. And sometimes work gets trumps it in time, at times.
Yeah.
But understanding, a life well lived, like taking those breaks so that I can reconnect with family, but also, creating a thriving business that impacts thousands of people. So, it's that I don't necessarily believe in balance, but I do believe in keeping your priorities straight.
Yes.
And I think that,
Thank you
I believe
for
you can
saying
do
that,
that.
Brianna, because there's no such thing as balance. Balance is zero. You get balance when you're dead. You want harmony. And I can take this
Yes.
analogy for you because you're in the music business. Is like I liken it to my clients like a jazz band, and like, your family is the guitar, your money is the horns, your relationships with friends is the drums. And if one of them is out of tune, it doesn't sound great. So if you can keep those different pillars in harmony, then you have great music, right?
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love
and
it.
sometimes there's swells in certain areas.
Yes.
And then, others kind of have to pull back a little bit. So you kind of have all of that happening, and,
Yes.
and there's times for all of it.
What I say with that, it was clients are like, oh, this part of the drums is just too much. I'm like, then just do a guitar solo for a while. That's running good. Keep that going. Work on the drums and then bring it all back in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. When you're ready.
A break. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. And squad, this is
that.
Just fan-freaking-tastic with my awesome friend Brianna. And we're going to take her through our leveling up lightning round just as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors and affiliates. Time to shine today, podcast Varsity Squad. We are back with my good friend Brianna Ruelas, and she is launching the reality singing show Success Academy, and I can't wait to see what this entices her, the journey that it takes her on, and because she's so well credentialed, she's kicking butt out there. And Brianna, we're going to take you through our leveling up lightning round. We have 5 or 6 questions. You and I could talk an hour on each one of these questions, but you got 5 seconds with no explanations.
Woo.
And you can do it, I promise.
All right,
you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
All right, let's get on stage in front of Simon and Paula and, the big dog out there. Ready?
That's right.
Let's do this.
Okay.
What's the best leveling up advice Brianna's ever received?
Consistency.
Yes. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Daily meditation.
Yes. Other than Brianna Ruelas music.com and of course timetoshinetoday.com, a shameless plug. What other website does Brianna like to go to level up?
Instagram.
Oh, that's fair enough. Love it. I always say Google. Anyways, so you see me, you're like, man, Fergie's just not feeling it. He's in the doldrums a little bit. What book are you handing me outside of the Bible?
You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero.
Jenny Sincero. I love it. Love her. Actually, I know Jen. That's awesome. So what is your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Purple heart.
Yay. Awesome. Favorite charity and or organization like to give your time or money to?
I love Habitat for Humanity.
Good for you. Good for you. Last question. You can elaborate on this one. It's a perfect question for you, but what's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Ooh, okay. I love 90s hip hop, so I'm going to go with 90s.
Okay.
And, NSYNC was born out of the 90s. So
No,
I love
not.
Justin Timberlake.
I got no hate against any music genre. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I made fun of the boy bands because I was like in my late 20s, early 30s in the 90s. So it was like, yeah, I made fun of it, but I actually listen to them now. Like I'll throw Backstreet Boys on anytime. So that's funny. That's awesome. So Brianna, how can we find you?
Absolutely. Best way to find me is at briannaruelasmusic.com, and Briannas with 2 N's, Ruelas, Ruelas music.com. And that's,
Okay.
Everything's there.
I love it. And tell us a little bit more about the success, the reality singing show Success Academy that's launching this month.
Yes. So the reality singing show Success Academy is the only online course where you are being taken through not only how to position yourself to get cast through the audition, through the mindset, how to slay your performance, but lastly, how to truly leverage and maximize the platform to create momentum in your music career. So it's going to take you through all of those phases. It's a 6-week program, and VIPs actually get 8 weeks, including mock auditions with industry casting experts. So you're going to connect with industry casting experts if you're a VIP. So it's a really incredible program. And I also blend my personal coaching. The VIPs get two days a week of live group coaching.
Okay.
And so I like to put that coaching component in there because I truly believe that course, community, and coaching is that success, magic in order to like really finish, but also get the support you need.
Love it. I love it. And that squad, all of that, I'll have the links to it in the show notes by the time the show drops. And Brianna, do us one favor and leave us with one last knowledge nugget you want us to take with us, internalize, and take action on.
I would say the most important thing to be looking at when you're wanting to, be successful is, again, it's that consistency. Take consistent action every single day towards, your goal, towards what you're after.
Love it. And squad, we have just had a free masterclass, an awesome sit down chat with my really good friend Brianna, who was a top 100 finalist in the OG American Idol back in 2004. She wants you to, no matter where you're at in your music career, to keep building your marketing arm, no matter how much rejection that you might face. Okay. You're going to have to daily assess and make adjustments. And if you're having trouble doing that on your own, hire somebody like my good friend Brianna, who's a great coach that understands, she's empathetic because she's been there. She believes in the longevity and persistence of what you want with your goals. You're going to have your mindsets and your stories. What you tell yourself is what you're going to act out. So be very careful. She wants you to be very careful about what you let into your life. She wants you to stay in the game. And again, I've said that already, but consistency and persistency is what's kept her in there. She's convicted and she's always humble, yet she's always hungry. So she's going to be remembered as somebody that kept her priorities straight in check, starting with her faith. She wants you to also take sabbaticals and rest at times as well to help to keep leveling up the game. Connect with your faith. And that's exactly what my good friend Brianna does. She levels up her health, levels up her wealth. She's earned her varsity squad letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on. You're the best. You're beautiful. I love your guts. And I can't wait to collaborate with you in the future.
God, thank you for having me on Time to Shine. I'm so grateful for the opportunity and I appreciate you.
All right. Talk soon.
Okay.